Next, I want to highlight again Marvin Scott III, who we've covered here before. Marvin Scott, to kind of give you a quick refresher, Marvin Scott III was so this took place in Texas, near Dallas, not exactly in Dallas, but near Dallas. And he was in an outdoor mall area. And someone reported him as acting suspiciously, whatever. He was found with some weed, who cares? And so the cops took him in. And because he was acting so-called weird or suspicious, they had him evaluated at the hospital. It did not matter to them that he was diagnosed as schizophrenic. They did not care about his needs or what that entails for mental health. So they took him to jail. And in jail, things declined because, for those who are not familiar, if someone is in that kind of mental state, there are certain triggers and stimulations that just send the person into an irretrievable meltdown of sorts. And so he was strapped down, a spit hood was put on him, and he was really, really mistreated and mishandled, and he ended up dead. It was ruled a homicide, and there were 7 jailers, correctional officers involved, ruled a homicide, and one went back. They didn't release the name of the one who went back, and none arrested at this point. So this man, by all accounts, just a jolly...
Murdered.
Yeah. A jolly, like, nice guy, young, an uncle, loved his family, had a ton of friends. He ended up dead for some weed and for having a mental health issue, which I have mental health issues and I have weed, but I'm not dead. He ended up dead because he is a black man. So...
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not going to bust your door down and put a spit. I can't honestly.
No,
how are these things? These absolutely should not be used, and it's shocking to me that they are.
Yeah, exactly. So there was an incident. These have been very peaceful protesters, just very peaceful, like mothers, families, the family of Marvin Scott, just peacefully walking around. Yes, sometimes they march in the street. That's what protesters do. Like, protesters don't just like cause no, like, they don't just like stand to the side so nobody notices them. They're protesting. Yes,
exactly. Protesting. Of course, they're going to march down the street. That's the entire point. It's bizarre to me that people think that they shouldn't march in the street. Where else are they going to march? The point is you have a mass of people, and you're causing traffic to stop, and you're causing attention to be drawn to whatever the cause is. That's the entire point.
Yeah, exactly. So it's this is crazy. These have been probably the most peaceful protesters I've ever seen, ever. Just, yeah. And so this insane racist man jumps out at them one day as literally this time they were literally just crossing the street, these protesters, just crossing the street as people do. So this racist man jumps out of his vehicle, starts yelling at them. He comes up to this young black woman and assaults her. And then he assaults the attorney of Marvin Scott's family. And there's a cop right there. The cop doesn't care. Nothing happens to the guy. And so since then, it's become kind of a local media sensation there. And so, like, racist assholes have been complaining, like, oh, these people are causing issues in the streets, blah, blah, blah. And they're siding with...
my favorite is they're rioting. Like, why do they keep calling out protesters rioters? I'm like, no, that's not a riot.
It's completely absurd.
I'll let you know when it turns into a riot. It might.
So
people just protesting is not a riot, but that is. But they intentionally frame these things in this way, use this language.
This doesn't happen at night. Like, these are literally like the nicest protesters I've
These are what the other folks will call the peace police protesters, right? I mean, they're so peaceful that you're like, are you actually having a protest here, right? I get what you're saying. It's kind of weird that they would center on that.
Yeah. So, by the way, Collin is going to Collin County, which I keep pointing out to him. So this was the statement today that Collin County released across the nation. Oh, they messed up the order. By they, I mean Imgur. Shoot. Hold on. One. So let me count this in real time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You guys don't even know how many times I tried to upload this in order today. Across the nation this past year, Americans watched as city after city fell victim to riots, crime, and lawlessness. The bad actors who preyed upon these communities often did so under the guise of peaceful protests, but they betrayed their own words by their criminal actions.
What is this guy talking about? Who is this guy? What is he talking about?
Unfortunately, it's the Collin County judge. Unfortunately, it appears that some in Collin County are willing to break the law in order to garner media and public attention, demonstrated by the recent orchestrated effort to block a busy Plano intersection while protesting.
That happened in Plano. Okay.
While protesting in the middle of our public streets. Oh my God. Drama.
The horror. You know what this is reminding me of?
You know what's worse is murdering Black people.
Yeah, exactly. So do you remember there was a right-wing video streamer guy who posted an edited clip on Twitter that went viral of this white guy getting beaten up at that protest? Well, it turns out before that happened, the guy had attacked a bunch of people with a machete, like a giant machete. And somebody else had this video and was like, yeah, no, this guy was attacking people with a machete and that's why he got beat up. But for some reason, that edited clips just went viral and Trump ended up using it in one of his campaign videos. And it just infuriates me because it's like, that isn't what happened. Somebody had a machete. He lunged at people with the machete. I saw the video. He was absolutely willing to like slice and dice some folks. So it was the right thing to tackle him and do that, you know? Yeah, they're going to turn the rhetoric around and say that white dude got beat up by Black guys. Like, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. They don't care about, I'm trying to find this video so they can show
veracity. They don't care about veracity.
They don't care about veracity. They don't care about the racism. They don't care about anything except for
their right-wing bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, it really angers me because this particular individual sees himself as he's like Andy No. He thinks he's a journalist. It's like, no, if you're a journalist, you must have a commitment to veracity. I'm sorry. You might be doing media, but no. Come on now. You knowingly edited that video because then it turned out a couple weeks later that he had filmed the whole thing because he released it because of the pushback. And so now you're like, wow, dude, you're admitting that you have literally no commitment to veracity. Shame on you.
Right. The individuals who engaged in this behavior knowingly and what is this word? Volitionally? I've never heard of that. Volitionally? I've never heard of that word in my life. Is that a word?
Yeah, it is. It is to ally do volition. No, I'm kidding.
What? Knowingly and volitionally disregarded. This guy like had a dictionary or a thesaurus by his desk. And
he definitely
disregarded the law and endangered others to further their own objectives, like not getting Black people murdered. Like a schoolyard bully who tormented.
Wait, okay. What, is he serious now? He's calling the protesters a schoolyard bully? Who is this guy?
Yeah, he's the freaking county judge. Yeah, commissioner's court.
Oh, that's okay. That's just infuriating.
This is nuts. This is absolutely insane. Like a schoolyard bully who torments others for his own amusement or profit. Profit? What? This is the craziest statement I've ever heard in my life.
This is beyond like unbelievable.
These agitators intentionally provoked conflict so that more people will pay them attention. Yes, you complete dumbass. That's what
they're
a
trying
protest
to,
is.
yes, to bring attention to the cause. Yes. He was murdered, and these guys are trying to bring attention to that fact to maybe have changes made to the law where that won't happen again. Who's the schoolyard bully? This guy is. Did you find the video? We should pull the video up and play that so people can see what this guy is defending, because it's really.
Yeah, I'll play it. I'll read this and then I'll play it. This is insane. I will always support the right of the people. Hold on, I did not.
Will he volitionally support the right of the people?
Volitionally. Everyone's telling me
what I need to know.
I will. I will use it now. I will always support the right of the people to peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. But I offer no sympathy and no support for those who break the law, like murdering Black people.
Yeah, exactly. I have no words for how insane this is.
Those who abuse others, like murdering Black people.
Is he for real?
Those who create conflict and destruction, and those who terrorize our communities. Oh, God. I have spoken with Collin County Sheriff Jim Skinner regarding the recent issue in the city of Plano, and no Collin County deputies were involved in the incident. I have full confidence that Sheriff Skinner and his office will always work to create a safe environment for anyone engaged in peaceful protests. But those who cross the line into illegal activity will be arrested and held accountable for their actions. I am proud to stand with all Collin County law enforcement officers who make daily sacrifices to protect our communities and families. So here is what this freak is talking about. This, by the way, is from Jesse Ringness, Be the Change on YouTube. And he filmed this on May 2nd. So it became quite viral. And it's shocking and horrible. So beware.
Get the out of my way!
And here comes the actual bully.
Thank you.
So that's Jesse Ringness at Be the Change. I recommend that you follow him because he's been doing a really good job of filming and capturing the protests there. There's his, I put that in the chat. Obviously, that is, how could that judge put that statement out based on that video?
Yeah. I don't know what he watched, but it wasn't what we just watched.
That guy, assaulted a woman, assaulted a lawyer, and nothing happened to him. Imagine if that guy was a Black man.
He would have been cuffed on the street. Yeah. 100%.
He may be dead currently.
That's right.